Hi guys, most of you might be planning to come to these Gulf countries. For example, we'll think about Qatar. Right now, we'll put our focus so much on Qatar because we have a very big event that is going to take place. That's the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. But what do you expect to find? There are a lot of things that you see which are quite amusing, which you may have not seen at all. I'll start with what we call shopping centers, or what we call shopping villages. For example, right in front of me, I'm standing in one of the shopping centers. What surprises you is just the arrangement of how they tentatively tend to do it. I think this is the commerce of trade responsible for this department. And what you'll see here is something that's so unique that, for example, we are seeing the supermarket, or we are seeing the hypermarket on the same block. Next, we'll see what we call a pharmacy. And on the next shop, you will see what you call a laundry shop. Then at the same time, you will see what we call a royal tea shop. It's a restaurant. Still on the same, you'll get to find that you will see another shop that deals in another product. This product may not be what you call a competing product. It may be totally of a different industry. Why do they tentatively tend to do that at the same time? Is that they try to give all people the opportunity to sell and for the opportunity to earn from the business. Right now, in front of me, this is what I want to show you. This is what we call the Royal Tea Restaurant. This is what we call the Greek Express Laundry. And this is what we call the pharmacy. So when you try to move around, you will see other shops dealing in different products altogether. This is called the vet experts. You definitely know what they're dealing. They're dealing in vet chemicals or the vet equipment. Then when we move around, you'll definitely see a salon still on the same building. Building materials, you get to see salons. So what I want to let you know is that the arrangement, the way they try to arrange these shops or these centers, it is a one-stop area that you can access all different services without having to move to different areas. For example, if you need to have a salon, you'll have the salon in the same area. If you need to have the building shop, you'll still find the building equipment in the same area. If you need to have the shopping, you'll still find the shopping in the same area. This is exactly that I want to share with you guys. For those that are planning to move to Qatar, such that by the time you get to move to this country, you definitely know some of these things that you won't get amazed when you find them. Still, it's something that you need to know how they definitely have to construct their roads. The roads are constructed in such a way that the highway taking almost a lane of 4 cars. And what does it mean to the drivers or drivers in case you have what you call a driving license and you're permitted to drive? By the way, not every worker that comes is permitted to drive. There are categories that are not allowed to have driving licenses. Right. So what I have to let you know that there are lanes of 4 cars or 6 cars. And what does it mean to you, a driver, a car driver? You definitely know that the terrific speed that you're going to be driving, it should be more than 80 kilometers. So meaning that a little bit, sometimes you need to be a little bit very careful as you're driving. Because you never know what may happen for that case, so you get a little bit very careful. So we are going to move around, and you're definitely going to see what exactly you see. What do you expect to see? First of all, as you move to this country still, you definitely see a lot of villas being constructed. But the question to you would be that, who are those people living in those villas? Yes, of course, definitely something that you cannot rule out. There are people that come to work in these countries. Some of them are residential villas, some of them are rented out, are people who come in the country that they get to access. And it will definitely depend on how much money that you have. It will be a 1-bedroom, it will be a 2-bedroom, it will be a 3-bedroom, it will even be a 4-bedroom if you can definitely afford, or if your salary at that time can help you afford at the same time. Then something that you need to to know again, it is the size of their residential homes. The sizes can really amaze you. The sizes are so big. Why am I saying this? That you find someone is owning a home that virtually very big. The size of a home, it can be a small sub-village in, let's say for example, in Africa, and all that home is for only one person. You know, it's quite big, such kind of a very big home, that in that home you definitely find everything engulfed inside there. So I want to try to show you, this is what we call the main road, and just see how it is, how it actually looks. The cleanness of it all is taken so much in count at this time. And something still I have to let you know is that I think there's so much care about keeping the area clean in one word. And something else that definitely you also need to know is that they like the lighting. The lighting is very important to them, because everywhere you go, at least you need to find the lights on, or you definitely need to see the poles of the lights that are being put on. So definitely it gives you the virtue for you to think and say, we do definitely define that and say it gives you what you're going to see definitely and what you expect to see in this country. So we are trying to move around. And try to see what definitely, in such that you don't get amused, you know. We may have in the sphere of another way that we see, we may send them the camera, but we have to actually see them partially and see how definitely it can be. So let's try to move around. We shall move around and try to see. This is exactly that I wanted to show you. Just see the size of the home. It is a home of one person, just in an area that can be occupied by 1,000. That shows you how rich this country is and how definitely they try to take care of themselves in one or the other. So let's try to move around. Move with me as we try to see what exactly you expect to see. The untold scenes, the untold parts, the unseen parts. We can try to see. And something that I need to remind you so much is that, you know, we all talk about climate change and we all talk about protecting our environment. But all along before, I thought when they talk about Qatar, it is the driest part of the area, or it is the driest country that you cannot even find flourishing trees growing. But what I have to assure you, to places that I've moved to, you definitely find trees, flowers, green all over. This gives us a question for the time of being here. You'll see climate changes during the summer and during the winter, but they've tried to plant what we call the trees. So we are moving. This is someone's home. This is one person's home. If you see the size of the home, the size of the fence itself will definitely let you know what must be inside that home, right? This is owned by one person. So meaning that they have all the resources. They do have the resources to own such kind of big mansions. We call them big mansions. Someone may say the big mansions. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, that we are looking at the green itself. Remember, such kind of mansions, you may find that in one mansion, there are over 10 or even 15 workers inside doing different jobs at the same time. And you may find that some situation, sometime, somewhere, that such kind of people are inside these places. They do all different activities. You may find inside there is what we call a farming area, where they're trying to rear maybe chicken or any other animals that are permitted. This is what I have to let you know, that this is someone's home. All this parameter building is all someone's home. So let's try to move with me and we'll try to see. By the way, if it's your first time to come across this channel, please consider supporting this channel. Don't forget, it's Malcolm X, where we want to discover Qatar. We want to discover the unseen part of Qatar that people have not talked about. Yes, people talk about the great skyscrapers in Doha. They talk about other areas like you say. But again, we also want to see, what does it have to look like in these other smaller, or these other areas, small villages away from those beautiful cities that people talk about. Is it still the same? And this is exactly what we're seeing and one more thing. And something I have to remind you that this is what we call a Muslim country. It's a pure Muslim country. And definitely what you expect to see is you'll expect to find a mosque everywhere. Let's say, for example, in an area, you'll expect to find a couple of mosques because it's like being in a Christian country where you'll find churches, creeping churches all over. But you expect to find what you call a mosque in this area, and you do have to find them all placed in this area. So let's try to move around and we'll try to see what else can you see. What do you expect to see? Remember, Qatar 2022, the FIFA World Cup, the first World Cup in the Arab country, where millions and millions of spectators will come to enjoy the game, support their teams, and 32 teams competing against each other just for the sake of winning a trophy or winning a team. And at the end of it all, out of the 32 teams, there is always one winner. But again, the question that who wins? The one that works so hard, the one that is so lucky, is one that takes it all. Right in front of me, you can see what we call a school. That is how the size of their schools look like. And something that I need to let you know, out of something that I've got to learn out of these schools is that either you pick your child, either you drop your child to school and pick the child, or that child will have to use what we call the school buses. It's compulsory to be dropped by the school buses. And that's what see. So that is the size of the school. The size of the school is so big that you find that some schools also are housed in two sections. One section is what we call the girls section, and another section would be what we call the boys section. So you find that definitely that all are girls in one parameter. It's just that different boundaries are being separated away from the girls and the boys section. So when we look at the constructions, the construction projects are roaming like, because every single moment of the construction of villas, construction of residential homes, that are just put there, the real estate part of it all. When we talk about the real estate part of it all, I think we can't fail to give them a hand of her price, because it's really that they've tried to do constructions everywhere and constructions in all lines. So this is exactly that I want to show you. I want to show you what we are moving closer, and this is a school. The size of the school itself is such a big in the kind of manner that you definitely, you have everything in that school, and everything that school in that holds that school. So you either have it for yourself, someone does it for you, but you definitely know that the transport is being provided by school, and they have what you call the buses. So that's what it really has. So when we talk about the constructions, much as we are talking about the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022, but we can't fail to mention how bad, how better they've tried to improve on the construction, and how they're constructing every single moment of it. This is what I really have to show. That's a kind of part of the mansions, that's kind of the villas they're trying to construct, and this is how it definitely gets to look like. And these villas, I say these villas maybe for it may be for 2 bedroom, it may be for 3 bedroom, it may be for 5 bedroom. It just depends on how much your pocket can hold at that time, is what you can pay for. And everything is inside that villa, and it will give you that kind of privacy that you expect to have. So these are what you call the school buses, and they're actually waiting for kids to get off from school. Remember, when it comes to the Ramadan period, it's just Ramadan period is just a Muslim country, and they definitely work less hours at one day. So this is what we call the villas. Are pretty very good for people that have known saying, and this is how we definitely get to move and see. So let's try to move around again. See, that's the parameter, and that's when we talk about the school. That's the parameter of the school. It's pretty very good, so it will give you that value when we talk about that. And right, let's move with me. We try to discover Qatar. We try to discover the unseen parts that you definitely need to see. These are what we call the mansions. Very beautiful, constructed, and they're all waiting for people to have them, either to rent them or even the owner living in the same mansions. So this is what you expect to see when you come to Qatar. This is how they construct, and this is the construction part. For this part is gradually done, and you may find that something surprising is that you may find that these are being owned by only one person. These are all owned by one person, and this is exactly what it is. So these are what we call the school buses, and they get off schools from school, and you can definitely see. And do remember, some of this transport system is being controlled by the government itself. All the purchase of the buses are just by the government. So this is what we have, right? So let's try to move. We can try to see other scene areas. When we talk about constructions, we can't stop to mention futuristic buildings that are cropping up, that are coming up every now and then, that you need to actually see yourself, to see by yourself. That gives see hi guys, you know. So we try to move around. So this is what I was talking about. These are what we call residential buildings. These are homes are being owned by one person. All this is getting in one villa that is being owned by one person. You just can't imagine. It's almost one home is sitting on acres and hectares of land, and you find that inside that home there is all that you need to have, starting from the swimming pool, sauna, and all the rest. And this is the parameter of the school. You see, definitely, that is, you see the signage of the school, and it will definitely show you that this is a school. And see how the size of the school is. The size is primarily very big. So you find that you definitely have things like this that you may not see in other countries. Like you go to Africa, this is twice the size of maybe, for example, say like someone may say like 3 schools or 2 schools, depending on the area of location. So we talk about the construction. That's usually you definitely have to see the constructions every day. Constructions going on every day. We tentatively have to see the constructions plumbing, and at a very terrific speed, at a very faster speed. And we can't fail to mention what we call the villas, especially villas that are rented for the workers. And I think over right there is what we call a security villa. It's for a security company, and definitely you see how the designs, the multi designs that are being constructed, or how definitely they are constructed, you definitely know it's crucially. This is how fast the real estate is growing in this country in one or the other. So this is, you definitely see, this is a home, or this is a residential home for one person. And definitely when we talk about the constructions, you've seen it yourself. Hope I've tried to share with you something. At least when you come to this country, you definitely or if you're planning to come to this country, you'll have something, you'll have a little bit of an idea. And by the way, if it's your first time to come across this channel, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. It will only be the only way that you will always give me that support and let me make more content for you. It's Malcolm X So this is how the construction say. This is definitely, you can see how the constructions is going on, and the beautiful villas. Over that side, the villas all in one place, and these are all owned by one person. Seated over maybe even seated to 5 acres or 10 acres. The beautiful architectural designs, and they're being held or they're being owned by one person at the same time. Likewise, like these buildings you oversee over that side, you find that it's also owned by one person. Hope I've tried to share with you something, and this is pretty very good.